After being elected chair earlier this week, Mayor Gerald Albers will be heading the Saskatchewan City Mayor's Caucus. The caucus is comprised of mayors from 16 Saskatchewan cities to discuss common issues, and Mayor Albers hopes the caucus can provide stability at a time when communities are dealing with the impacts of COVID.
We have some challenges. We all have challenges. We have challenges every day, sometimes just getting out of bed for people that have those challenges. We will face those challenges head on, and there's some optimism. There has to be some optimism. I hope to bring some optimism.
Continuing to speak with higher levels of government is one of the mayor's priorities, beginning with a virtual convention with the Saskatchewan government in February.
There's so many factors that play into our community outside the control of City Council, but at the same time people expect results and action from City Council. And we'll continue to do the best we can do. We still have some challenges with oil and gas, and we'll work through those with the provincial and federal governments.
As Chair, Mayor Albers will also be on the Municipalities of Saskatchewan Executive Committee and Board of Directors. We spoke with the Bonnyville and District Chamber of Commerce on their new holiday campaign, as well as the new restrictions in Alberta for businesses.
I'm joined here with Serena Parsons, and she's the Executive Director of the Bonnyville and District Chamber of Commerce. Now, the Chamber is currently hosting a Fa La La local Christmas campaign. So can you just explain what this campaign is?
Absolutely. So pardon the name, but I just it kind of came off the tip of my tongue one day, Fa La La Local, and my staff were like, yeah, let's do something like that. So in the spirit of the holidays, we decided to, of course, promote shopping local, which is what a Chamber of Commerce is always all about. But right now, it is more important and more vital than ever. So what we do, we have 10 participating businesses in the Bonnyville region. It's not too late for businesses to sign up. So any business can sign up to be part of this campaign. And what happens is anyone in the community download the Our Local Matters app. And so once you download that app, when you go into participating stores, you scan a QR code, and then you're entered in to win weekly draws just for shopping local. And one of the main things with this program is that we have some really great prizes. So we've got a shop local tree that has gift cards for local stores. We've got a pair of rose gold diamond earrings from Richardson's Jewelry, valued at $450. So why not get rewarded for shopping local and giving back to our community?
And now you just touched on this, but especially the importance and what has happened this year with COVID, making sure people are shopping locally must be something that you guys really want to emphasize for the community.
100%. So when you shop local, you're putting a real pep in somebody's step, somebody in your backyard, somebody that employs people in your area, somebody that pays bills in your area, taxes in your area, gives back to your local sports teams, charities, nonprofits. Small business is the backbone of everything that we do. It's why chambers of commerce really exists. And we are here to advocate and stay, steadfast for them. I always say, look local first. Before you click add to cart, look local first. Can you get it in your region? Can you get it in your area? And if you can, please do that. It might take that little bit of extra effort, but right now it's more important than ever. Jasmine, we know that yesterday was a big day in Alberta. We had more restrictions imposed by the government of Alberta, which is why I'm at home today. So this is a pretty nice setting to work from home. But at the same time, there's a lot of people questioning some of these restrictions. I'm sure you've heard that. I think that right now people are saying, I can shop local, but I can't have my family over for dinner. I can go to a restaurant, but again, I can't have people in my house. Well, studies have shown that this entire time, the spread of COVID-19 has not happened in small businesses or restaurants. The spread of COVID-19, the very vast, over 80%, is happening in social gatherings. Okay, so because small businesses, in order for them to reopen, during our first lockdown, they had to adhere to protocols, strict protocols, safety protocols to make sure that coming into their business is safe for their patrons. And so it is, and they've proven that it is safe. So to shut down the economy completely would have devastating results to many people's livelihoods, mental health, etc. So yes, we can still shop local, do so safely, wear your masks, social distance, and other than that, stay home and be safe.
Yeah, and for the chamber, you just kind of touched on this, but making sure that what are something that the chamber really wants to emphasize to people who might be kind of like you mentioned, questioning the rules and aren't quite sure what that means around, like, especially the holiday season?
It is. So it's hard. It's hard on all of us. I haven't seen my family in Newfoundland in over a year. And it's becoming very trying. So I can imagine everybody else. But as a chamber of commerce, we want to say shopping local is important. Getting out there and supporting small businesses, but getting out there safely and doing it. Pardon me, but I have to say there's many, many keyboard warriors out there on social media that all of a sudden have a science degree but probably didn't pass chemistry in high school. Let's be real. Let's have some real talk for a moment and say it's very important that you listen to facts, figures, and of course experts. Nobody, Premier Kenny, whatever my political beliefs may be, I believe yesterday did a very good job in stating, a mistake was made during the first lockdown when big box stores were open, but small mom and pop shops that have their life savings riding on their business were closed. And he admitted that. And so, it's appreciative for us as a Chamber of Commerce to hear that and to come together and promote shopping local in our community and to promote, really letting people know, watch where you get your information and be very careful about what you read, believe, and share on social media.
And is there any other events that the chamber is currently a part of for the holiday season right now?
We have something up our sleeve right now. Seems like whenever I talk to you, there's something up our sleeve. So we still have our Resiliency Runs Deep campaign that I mentioned before, where we're selling t-shirts. We've already given $5,500 back to local businesses in our area. And so those shirts are still for sale and people can get them. Just message us at the Bonnyville Chamber and we would be happy to do that. And of course, put more money back in the hands of our local businesses.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Serena.
Thank you, Jasmine. Have a great day.
It was Mystery Day for Queen Elizabeth School today, an idea to help students connect and learn in a fun way during the pandemic. Our Shelby Clark spoke with the principal for more.
I'm speaking with Principal Ryan Mathers from Queen Elizabeth School. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing very good. So can you explain more on what Mystery Day is all about for the students today?
Well, I could tell you, but it's a mystery. No, I could tell you a little bit more. We're just trying to make it a little more exciting today for some of our kids, dressing up as detectives, trying to solve different riddles and problems as we go throughout our day to make it a little more mysterious.
And the day is supposed to help with connecting and learning in different ways. Can you kind of expand on that?
Sure thing. It's just a chance for us to learn in a different way and to get a little bit more of the excitement in there. We have some language arts, different mysteries where kids will have to learn, will have to read or will have to listen to mystery and try and solve it. There's some math logic puzzles out there. There's some estimation and a chance for them to refine their guesses based on the clues that they get. So we're trying to fit it into a lot of our curriculum, just to make it a little more interesting and exciting for kids today.
And why do you believe having this Mystery Day is so important for students?
Well, it's just one of those things that we can do to make school a little bit more fun and a little bit more exciting. We keep looking for those opportunities because school is different this year and we can't do a lot of the things that we normally would do and we can't do them in the same way. So this is something that we can do with our kids to make it a little bit more exciting, a little bit more mysterious.
And since Mystery Day is new for this year, where did this idea come from exactly? How did it all start?
Well, most of our ideas at Queen Elizabeth come from Mr. Korn. He's our vice principal here. He thinks about, he's always thinking about ways to engage kids and get them excited. And this was something he came up with and thought, hey, let's do a Mystery Day. Let's throw some mystery things together and just theme it that way to add some excitement with our kids.
And are you hoping to have Mystery Day like multiple times a year or an annual thing?
Oh, that is a mystery. We'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. We have lots of different days, so I'm sure we will have more mystery days in the future. We'll have to see how it goes.
Is there anything else you want to add for people to know about?
You know, this is a time, a unique time in schooling where kids are working really hard and the teachers are working really hard as well. And we really appreciate all of the support that we've got from our families and from our community with trying to learn in new and different ways during our difficult time that we're in right now. So, really, I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks to our community, thanks to our parents for always supporting us no matter what strange and crazy ideas we come up with.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Principal Ryan Mathers.
You know what? The pleasure was mine.
Now we're Connor Chan. We'll take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasmine. Looking right now, we of course had a very gorgeous day outside, lots of sunshine and great weather throughout most of it there, but right now we kind of sit around that -1 mark. We are going to get a little bit colder as the evening, but early in the day, of course, we did see lots of sun there, and with that wind, it felt more so like -7, but it didn't really feel like that because we just had some very nice temperate weather all day long today, and we're going to continue to see that over the next couple of days. But as we look in the area, lots of ones and -1s in our area here. 1 degree in Vermilion along with Bonnyville and Pierceland, 2 degrees up in Cold Lake and in Lac La Biche, -1 in Vegreville, 1 degree in Edmonton and Wainwright and North Battleford with -2 in Maidstone and Macklin with 3 degrees in Meadow Lake and then 0 in Green Lake and in Isle La Crosse. Now, as we look at the satellite radar map, there is some snow expected in the Edmonton area coming into tonight that could make its way into our area tomorrow, but more so in the sense of it'd be in the shape of scattered flurries throughout the day, so not a huge amount of snow expected, so just those scattered flurries is what we could see overnight and into tomorrow as well. Taking a look at North Battleford overnight, -10 with some cloud coverage going into tomorrow, -5 with some sun and a little bit of cloud coverage there, so a little bit colder than what they're seeing right now at that 1 degree mark. -9 in Cold Lake overnight with some scattered flurries as well, as kind of similar to what we're going to possibly see for us tonight and into tomorrow. -4 the daytime high for them tomorrow with some cloud coverage and potential flurries throughout the day at periods of time, and then -9 for us overnight in Lloydminster with -5 tomorrow for our daytime high. It could be a little bit colder because we're going to have the wind pick up a little bit there, so we'll see. It could feel more so like -16 tomorrow with that wind chill, but then we'll have a lot more sun expected on Sunday with that high of -3. -2 there on Monday with mostly sun and a few clouds there. We are going to get closer to the 0 degree mark later on into that week. We'll show that in a little bit there with the 7-day forecast, but that's a first look at your weather for now. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Chatsworth Farm outside Vermilion is putting on a holiday mini market in December. Jace Mackey has a preview.
Today with Charlotte Wistilick. She joins me from Chatsworth Farms near Vermilion. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
I'm so glad to be joining you.
So Chatsworth Farms is going to be holding a holiday mini market on December 12th. Can you just tell me a little bit about what people can expect?
Yes, so we're very glad we have the green light from AHS to proceed with an in-person market. So who we're going to be featuring are local artisan vendors, so all within the county of Vermilion River. So we have anyone from making cheesemakers to custom cutting boards, vodka, pottery, chocolates, beef, and kind of everything in between. We're going to have it available at our mini market.
So the event's going to be taking place on December 12th. What time can people arrive, and do people need to register maybe before going, or how does that work?
So the market begins at 12 and then it goes until 5. But what we've done with any of our previous events and what's currently the trend in attending anything is you pre-book your time slot and then you come arrive for that time, you shop. We just ask people to be mindful of their time and sort of be efficient. So you can book your time slots and we have them every hour on the hour from noon until 5.
And you mentioned that you got approval from Alberta Health Services to be able to still put on this in-person event, and talked a little bit about, staging people when they're coming. They have to kind of book their time slots. Are there going to be any other safety procedures or guidelines kind of in place?
Yes, there are. So everyone will be required to wear masks, whether you are a shopper or a vendor. And then we are going to be having some pre-screening questions upon arrival. We're also going to be taking temperature checks. So when you arrive, you'll come in, we'll just ask you those very simple questions that I think a lot of people are used to right about now. And then you'll go through the market. It'll be a one-way, so there won't be any backtracking. And then in between each arrival group or time slot, we'll be making sure that everything is sanitized in between. And then we do ask that anyone who comes by just tries not to touch anything on the tables, and the vendors will either pick up whatever they're interested in and show them rather than picking up and touching and feeling like we're all kind of used to in the past.
So Chatsworth Farms is obviously the one that's hosting this whole market, but there's a lot of vendors from around the county. How important was it for Chatsworth Farms to be able to, put on an event like this in a year that isn't typical, but try and give maybe some normalcy around the holiday season?
Mhm. Well, there are quite a few farms that just hold up pop-up markets themselves or have an on-farm store where they sell products from local artisans or just their products themselves. But especially this year, there have been a lot of Christmas markets that aren't able to run, and we have the space, we have the opportunity here to be able to host that. And so I think it just gives people a fun afternoon. And if it's a really nice day, we're hoping to maybe have part of it outside. We're going to be serving home pressed hot apple cider. There are going to be some photo ops. So just a good chance for people to come out, enjoy the beauty of winter right now, and shop safely and support local, which is why we're doing this, because we have an incredible amount of local producers and makers within such a small area. I mean, people talk about the 100-mile diet or just shopping within that space, but we don't have to go further than 25 miles to find all of these amazing vendors.
And for people who are looking to take part, where can they find the information to get that Eventbrite link and register to come?
So you can just find us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Our farm name is Chatsworth Farm. So just look for that on any of those platforms. And from there, you'll be able to find the link.
And I know I've spoken with you about some different events and different things that Chatsworth Farms are doing, both online and in person. Is there anything else that's going on that you wanted to highlight?
We do actually. After Open Farm Days in August, we had one of our attendees mention that she loved visiting the farm so much that she kind of wanted to have a whole year of doing farm visit subscriptions. So we started in September. So we did a harvest one. The next one coming up is in January, and then we're going to go throughout the year. So people can visit the farm during calving season, lambing season, seeing the cattle on the pastures in the summer. So we're doing it, you can purchase the whole subscription to visit the farm or just individual visits, because it's a little bit easier for people to schedule rather than their entire year. So the next one is coming up in January. So we're going to be showing everyone how a working farm operates during the winter.
And for people who are interested in following Chatsworth Farms and keeping tabs on what's going on, is Facebook the best place to do that?
Facebook or Instagram are our two main platforms. So we kind of cross-post everything on both of them.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Charlotte, for taking some time to talk with me. And it sounds like there's going to be some exciting stuff happening out at Chatsworth Farms in the coming months and stuff. And I'm hoping people can go out on December 12th to check out the market.
Wonderful. Thank you. We hope to see you all here.
Now here are your stock market prices for today.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
With the newest restrictions set in place by each province, junior hockey around the country is changing. Evan Kenny reports on how the future will look.
With that, it was a decision, unfortunately, but for the time being, we've sent our players home.
Good opportunity there by Youngworth. Kinnenberg now across. Oh, that's inside. Awkwardly on Miller. He can't do anything with it. Now a touch in front. Max Stewart.
Max Stewart's second goal of the season last Saturday against the Fort McMurray Oil Barons will be the last goal Bobcats fans will see for a while. After the government of Alberta's restrictions, the AJHL announced there would be no junior hockey in the province.
Just even playing those 2 games, it was one of those, we only played 1 game in the 2.5 weeks before that or something like that. So there was quite a bit of a break in between there. So to hit the stride, I felt like we didn't really get into a rhythm just with consistent play with the stretch in between there. But definitely would have liked to have those 2. I guess at the same time, we can look at it. Those 2 games were put into the further part of March, so maybe opportunity to have more games when the guys do come back.
The AJHL is not alone. Just a day after the AJHL, the SJHL made a similar announcement, having no action until after Christmas. The Flin Flon Bombers previously postponed their season following Manitoba's lockdown. The MJHL started things off postponing their schedule on the 12th. The LHJQ will not play until the middle of December, while the MHL, the NOJHL, and the SIJHL will all continue on their seasons, with the SIJHL kicking things off this weekend. The BCHL, OJHL, and the CCHL have not started their regular seasons yet, and their start dates will be pushed back. The AJHL Board of Governors are set to discuss the stoppage on December 19th to determine a timeline. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasmine. Looking at temperatures right now, we're kind of in the consistent numbers as we look into Alberta, so somewhat similar to what we see there, but very much warmer in some areas like Jasper, sitting at 4 degrees right now, 0 in Edson, with 2 degrees up in Colt Lake, Meadow Lake, and in Athabasca, -1 in Rocky Mountain House, with -2 in Red Deer, and then -1 in Whitecourt, with 1 degree in Edmonton. And we also see 1 degree in North Battleford and Melfort, -4 in Saskatoon, and then 4 degrees in Prince Albert. Now, as we look up north, start to get a little bit warmer compared to what we saw yesterday. 1 degree in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, along with La Ronge there. It's still fairly colder up in those farther northern cities, in Uranium City and Stony Rapids, sitting at -9. -2 for Flin Flon and -6 in Wollaston Lake. Looking at northern Alberta, -3 in Peace River, with 1 degree in Slave Lake and Fort McMurray, with 0 in Grand Prairie, and then -6 in Fort Chipewyan, and then -4 in High Level. Now, as we look at southern Alberta right now, as we take a look there, as it's kind of trying to catch up to me here, but we are seeing some warmer temperatures there as well, kind of similar to what we saw yesterday, around that 0 to 3 degree mark for some cities like Medicine Hat to Calgary. Calgary, of course, had fairly warmer temperatures yesterday. In southern Saskatchewan, they're also seeing that as well. And there we go. As we take a look at that, Calgary, of course, in the 10 degree mark today, as we talked about yesterday being a little bit warmer. Now today being much warmer, with 8 degrees in Lethbridge, 5 in Medicine Hat, 4 in Banff, -5 for Coronation. And then we see in southern Saskatchewan a little bit warmer-ish, a little bit colder, but 2 degrees in Swift Current and Moose Jaw, -4 in Kindersley, 4 in Estevan, and then 2 degrees in Yorkton, then 0 in Regina. Taking a look at across the country, 3 degrees in Winnipeg, 6 in Toronto as they continue their streak of positive temperatures there. 2 degrees in Quebec City, with 12 in Halifax with some fog, and then 10 degrees in St. John's. Looking at Edmonton, as I did mention, 1 degree. Vancouver with some showers right now at 9. We look up north in the Northwest Territories, -17 in Yellowknife with some flurries, and -11 in Whitehorse with some sun and cloud mix. But as we look at tomorrow's temperature, -5 for tomorrow, so it's going to be a little bit colder for us here with that wind chill. Could feel just over -10, but it's going to be the sunshine that's going to play a major factor there. So -4 in Vermilion tomorrow, -4 for St. Paul and Colt Lake, -5s also in Bonnyville, Marwayne, and Pierceland, as well as in Vegreville, -3 for Wainwright tomorrow, as well as in Provost and Macklin, -5 we see there in North Battleford and in Maidstone, along with areas in those northern Saskatchewan communities in Meadow Lake, St. Walburg, and Green Lake. Now here's what we could see for the next 7 days here. Lots of sunshine expected over the next little bit here. -3 on Sunday, -2 Monday there, -4 on Tuesday with clear skies expected. We are expected scattered flurries overnight tonight carrying over into tomorrow. 1 degree on Wednesday though, and then we'll see zeros on Thursday, Friday next week, all with very nice, clear, sunny skies. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Just like a curse. Two mean and ugly stepsisters. Her stepmother was worse.
I'm happy to be joined today on Primetime Local News by Erica M. Now, Erica is a very familiar face to most Canadians from your former career, Erica, as a VJ on Much Music. And today we're talking about a little bit different subject. But first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Now, Erica, I want to talk about this series that you have, Out of the Books. Had a chance to look at the first episode, and it's really unique. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, what you saw was not what we intended to write. Brian Banks is a well-known composer and songwriter out of LA, and he reached out to me and asked me to write a play that would encompass 18 songs that he'd already written. What makes these songs really unique is that each song tells the story of a well-known fairy tale. My job was, how do I find a storyline that it would make sense to have songs about fairy tales in it? So we came up with a really unique concept and created a cast of kooky characters, and we wrote a piece of musical theater that was supposed to launch in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival. Well, COVID blew it all up, and so we had to pivot. And we decided to shoot the entire show as a digital musical series for kids that would be housed on YouTube, which meant a total rewrite, but we were able to cast the actors from around the world, some of the best names in musical theater. So we have a couple of the performers are from the cast of Hamilton in UK, and our actors are from UK and from the US, and we directed the whole thing on our Zoom channel, and everybody shot their parts on iPhones in their homes during lockdown. And the results are, I think, really so much more exciting than just musical theater.
Well, and everybody is obviously having to adapt now, Erica, and good for you guys for doing it because the result is incredible from what I can see. What is your target audience for this? Is it the younger, really younger kids, or is it kind of meant for everybody?
Oh, this is a family show. So the way I wrote it, there are sort of inside jokes and humor for adults, but a real playful and gentle feel for kids. It's not a patronizing show for kids, so we don't go, hey kids. It's not one of those shows. It's actually, I think, a really interesting musical theater piece that has a storyline and unique characters and also great production. The songs are fantastic. The instrumentation, it's pop music at its finest.
Now tell me a little bit about the characters in this series. How would they compare to the older fairy tales? Have you really modernized them and jazzed them up quite a bit?
Yeah, so what we did is the concept of the show is we were looking for a star in the land of once upon a time. So the people who were putting their hands up to audition to be the star in the show are all people who were sort of second run. They never made it into a famous fairy tale. But each of their, and this is sort of in the story, each of them are very interesting characters and they all want to be stars. And they're all kind of quirky. But only one will be chosen as the star, which is the storyline of the show. And the winner of the show, well, that's the point. You got to watch the whole series to find out. But we have characters like Trixie, who is the morally ambiguous witch. We have T-Roll, who is a combination of an elf and a troll. Therefore, his name is T-Roll. We have the ogre, whose name is Warble, who does not play well with others. We have a princess, Euphony, who is quite shrill, I would say, and certainly not destined to win the competition. And then we have the beautiful blue fairy, Melody the Blue Fairy, who her whole life was told that she's the wrong shade of blue. And on this show, she discovers that she's just the right shade. So that's a look at some of the characters. Obviously, the most important character is the librarian, and her job is to protect all the fairy tales in our treasury of tales, where all the old fairy tales are kept. And the treasury of tales is crumbling these days, and her job is to protect it. And this show helps her do it.
Well, Erica, if people are interested in watching the first episode, where do they go for it, and how many episodes are you guys going to be releasing?
Well, the show is going to be 8 episodes, and you can find them on YouTube. And they're going to be dropped every 2 weeks. So the first episode is there. We also have some sort of behind the scenes footage with each of the characters so you can get to know them. But if you go on social media, you can find us everywhere. All you look for is outathebooks.com. And you will find the characters, the stories, the songs, the land, and so much more.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for joining today. This sounds like a really exciting adventure and lots of fun to be involved in, especially during these times when, a lot of us are stuck inside and can't go out or are limited as to where we can go out. This is really something great for the family. So once again, good luck with the rest of this, and thank you again for speaking with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Get your bid in now for a virtual silent auction that is underway in support of the Vic Juba Community Theatre. There are so many really cool, really unique items that you've got a chance to place your bid on, including a signed Braden Holtby Vancouver Canucks jersey, one of the first out there, and you could own it through this virtual online auction. If you love golfing, there's golf passes that are up for auction. If you love cooking classes, how about bidding on a virtual cooking class? Also, some great local artists have made donations. There's an original piece of art that's been donated by Tammy Hunter Holtby, and also some beautiful jewelry that's been donated by DLF Designs Jewelry. Take a look at the website, place your bid, and support the Vic Juba Community Theatre. You'll find all the details and a link to the auction at vicjubatheatre.ca. This year, the 13th annual Here Comes Santa Claus includes a photo contest that you can take part in right now with your family. The grand prize, thanks to Border City Furniture, is a $500 Sobeys gift card and a $500 cash donation to the charity of your choice. To get in to win that grand prize, you need to enter photos in all 5 categories. So send in that favorite old photo with Santa for your chance to also win a photo session with Noise Photography at the Lloyd Mall, thanks to the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce. So an opportunity to get a physical distance photo with Santa this year. If you're busy baking some Christmas cookies, make sure you take that photo, send it in for a chance to win a $50 co-op gift card. If you've got your Christmas tree decorated, take a picture in front of it with your family, enter it for a chance to win a $50 gift card to Walking on Water Toys. If you've got those Christmas lights up around your house, take that photo, send it in to Here Comes Santa Claus for a chance to win a $100 gift card to Home Hardware, thanks to the new Lloydminster Nissan. And we want to hear you sing your favorite Christmas carol. Video your family singing, send it to Here Comes Santa Claus, and you could win a $100 Spiros gift card thanks to Henka Divorce and Law Mediation. The photo contest as part of the annual Here Comes Santa Claus, you can get more details in the Meridian Source and also on Facebook through Here Comes Santa Claus. And coming up on Sunday, the Kiwanis Club of Lloydminster will light up Kiwanis Park for the Christmas season. You can stop by or watch via their Facebook page. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Well, Joining us once again for the weekly entertainment panel is Abby St. John. Abby, lots in the music world, mainly because the Grammy nominations were announced earlier this week. Lots of notable nominations, including Beyonce, Dua Lipa, and Taylor Swift leading the way with the most nominations there. Just talk about your reaction there and what we could possibly see, and who are some of the favorites to win some of those big major categories.
Yeah, like you said, Beyonce, Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, they all got a lot of nominations. Beyonce with 9, including Album and Song of the Year for her album Black Parade. And then Taylor Swift, she got 6 nominations, including Album of the Year. And if she wins this, it'll be her 3rd win for that category in the last 3 years. So it'll be a record-breaking win if she does win that award. And then Dua Lipa, she won Best New Artist just 2 years ago and has 6 noms as well, including Best Album for her album Future Nostalgia. So that's very exciting for her, especially since it's only been 2 years since she won Best New Artist, and so she's already gotten Best New Album or Album of the Year under her belt. I think that's a pretty big accomplishment. Now, the biggest news coming out of the Grammy nominations is the fact that The Weeknd got snubbed by the Grammys. He didn't win or receive a single nomination, despite his album After Hours going triple platinum, and his single Blinding Lights featured on the album was one of the most popular songs this year. So it's very interesting as to why he didn't receive a nomination. Hours after they were released, he took to social media and he called the Grammys out for being corrupt. And many celebrities followed suit behind him, including Elton John, Drake, Nicki Minaj, and many others were on his side, saying that he was snubbed, the Grammys are irrelevant. And so that was really interesting to see. But apart from that, I think with all the women, especially Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, I think that women are being very represented this year in the Grammys, and hopefully, Beyonce or a woman does take home Album of the Year. I think that would be incredible, and I know a lot of people online are really hoping that Black Parade does win Album of the Year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when the Grammys do come around.
Yeah, of course, as you mentioned, Dua Lipa, that's very impressive after only just 2 years of being very well known. Of course, Taylor Swift, as you mentioned, it'd be a great history making for her if she does win the 3rd consecutive Album of the Year. One other movie news as well to talk about, Abby, just before we kind of end things here, was that Black Panther 2 has announced that they are going to start on July 2021 to start filming. And of course, they are recruiting somebody from Narcos, the sequel, to possibly play one of the antagonists. But it's also interesting to see that they actually have an idea now where they're going to take this movie. Of course, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, now it's where do they go from here?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of speculation. Also, there was big rumors that Rihanna was going to be in Black Panther 2. Those rumors have been squashed. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing Rihanna in the Black Panther 2. They've had to change the way that the second movie is going to go, because originally they wanted to follow T'Challa and his journey discovering who he is as king. They have to change that now, obviously, with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, and they have no plans of using a digital double in it, so we won't be seeing Chadwick Boseman at all in this movie, unfortunately. But it's great news that a lot of the cast from the first movie is returning to take on their role. Now, in the comic books, T'Challa's sister Shuri does become the Black Panther at some point, and the internet is really urging for that to happen in the sequel. And so it'll be interesting to see where they go with who will become the next Black Panther, and really just to see where they're going to go with the story itself. They have been saying that they want to dive into the history of the Black Panther and hopefully, create a sequel of the past kings, and kind of dive into their storyline as well. So that'll be interesting to see if they kind of set that up in the sequel. Now, it was supposed to filming was supposed to start in May of 2021. It's now, like you said, being pushed to July 2021. So we probably won't see Black Panther 2 in theaters or on streaming services, however they do it, until probably the summer or early fall of 2022. So it's a long wait, but I'm sure by the end of it, it will be well worth it.
It's definitely going to be a much different movie, of course, without Chadwick Boseman, but it's going to be interesting to see, nonetheless, of what direction they take with it. Abby St. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, taking one last look here at your weather forecast. We could see some scattered flurries tomorrow, overnight tonight going into tomorrow. -3 on Sunday with -2 on Monday, as we are going to have a lot of sunshine over the next couple of days here. -4 there for Tuesday. We get to 1 degree on Wednesday, and then by the time we hit Thursday, Friday next week, we should be in the 0 degree mark with clear skies expected. So just be on the lookout for the first time in a while in this time of the year, having nice weather and some sunshine, because it's not going to last for very long before we get to those -20 temperatures.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.